My
This
screen.
conference will now be recorded.
All right, please do let me know once you guys are able to see my screen.
Yes, we are able to see.
Okay, great. So I have my VS Code open. So I can basically go ahead and let's say clear my screen out here. Now, firstly, the very basics that we're going to see today is called data types. Very basic, but very, very important, guys. Now, in most likely, when you are working with PowerShell, you are interacting with data in one or the other form. Like you are, let's say, working with the data in one or the other form, and that's the reason you'll have to understand what a data type really means. Meaning, let's say I want to declare something called as a string. Now, my name is a string. Okay. For example, I am Kiran and I can declare my name as a string. But how do I declare my name again? How can I assign my name to something? It's called again what? Parameters, right? Parameters or variables. And how do I declare a variable, guys? Anyone?
Where?
Guys, anyone? No, it is dollar any name. For example, I'll say it is dollar variable name or dollar var name. It can either be XYZ also. So a dollar followed by a name is called a variable declaration in PowerShell. Now I want to just give my name out here. So I'll say Kiran. Now if I just execute this line and if I look at what is there in Kiran, or now it says, you know what, dollar name is equal to Kiran. I can even have dollar name typed here, right? So what did I get, guys? I got Kiran out here, right? So this is a variable declaration in PowerShell. Then what is the use of variable declaration? That we're gonna see, but let's understand. This is just one word. It's just one word, right? So this is called a string. And the collection of strings, meaning if I want to declare multiple names, the collection of strings is called an array or an array list. Array is nothing but multiple names inside one same thing. Now again, how do I declare an array? Firstly, I want to assign my array to a variable. So I'll say it is dollar array list, give it a meaningful name, is equal to at the rate open parenthesis and close parenthesis. This is an empty array. So if I say F8 and if I now type in array list, see, I am not getting anything. It's just an empty list out here. So how do I pass names into an array? Let's say Kiran is one name, comma, Ali is a second name, comma, Sanjay is a third name, right? Now this array list, if I execute this entire thing right now, and if let's say again, if I let's say take my array list out here, see the name that I'm getting in the output console is Kiran, Ali, Sanjay, whatever I have declared out there, right? Now then how can I use it? Okay, this is an array list, good enough. This is a string, good enough. But what if I were to print out something more meaningful? So I'll say write hyphen host. I'll say my name is dollar name. Guys, now if I print this out, if I print this out, can anyone tell me what will I get?
My name is Kiran.
Great, that's right. So reason being dollar name has a value called Kiran inside it, right? So if I execute this out, it's now telling me, you know what? My name is Kiran because I did what? A write host. My name is $name. But right now, I also want to print this out. Okay. So I'll say write host. My name is now. And if I do an array list, guys, can anyone now tell me what will I get here?
The three names.
The
My
three
name
names.
is
My name is Kiran. My name is Ali. My name is Sanjay.
Ali. And
Right. So it should technically come that way. But how's it coming now? It's saying my name is now Kiran Ali Sanjay. So it doesn't look good, right? I mean, this is not what we're expecting this to have, right? This is giving me all the three names in series, meaning this is not considering it as a array. It is just printing it out as a string, right? Now I have to make sure that there are three names. I know that there are three names and it has to print three times that my name is now Kiran, my name is now Ali, my name is now Sanjay. It has to do that, right? Like everyone agree with me in that way,
Correct.
Yeah.
right? So
yes,
what should I really do out here? Then what should I really do to basically help the statement out? Now I'll have to convert my array, each and every word in my array or each and every name in my array into a string. This is called iteration. Then how do I iterate over it? Now you have a loop called a looping concept called for each. Now this is the syntax. Now this is the beauty of, let's say, VS Code. So I just wrote for each and it gave me a syntax out of here. Now let's talk about what for each really does. Now for each meaning what? It's just like for each name in this particular loop, meaning I'll say for each name, let me put a variable called name. Now this variable is something that I haven't declared anywhere. I'm using this as a placeholder. This is called a placeholder variable. I will say for each name in array list, because array list is what I mean, array list is something that has all my names there, right? I'll say for each name in array list, I'll just take this sentence out here. I will say my name is now not array list, but this value out here, this $name. Now what happens is each and every time the loop kind of runs, each and every time the loop kind of runs, the first time what's going to happen, this name called Kiran will get assigned to this variable, and this variable is going to assign this name to this one. Now array list right now has what? All the three names, right? It has, let's say, all the three names right now. So for the first time, it's going to take Kiran, it's going to assign to this name, and it's going to, let's say, come here. It's going to, let's say, come here and say, right host, my name is now Kiran. The second time it's going to run, it's going to say, okay, fine, this is the second time right now. It's iterating for the second time right now. So I'll say, now it is Ali. Now we'll come here. This value will get assigned to the name, and that name will now be, my name is now Ali. Now let's see how that really works out. Now I'm saying, okay, fine, this is how I want to type it out. Now let's execute this one more time, just to make sure that the value is saved there. And now I'll say, now are you getting this, Race? This is a proper format, right? Guys, any questions in this loop? This is very, very, very important loop. We're going to use this a lot. Guys, anything?
So the array list is the unique name, or we can give anything?
So
Dollar
this,
array.
yeah, that you can give anything, XYZ, ABC, whatever it is. But I have given an array list because it makes a lot of sense, right? So to just declare something as an array, to give a meaningful name, that's the reason I have just given it as an array list. Now even this, right, for dollar name and all, I can also give a dollar $X. It doesn't matter. So here it becomes what? Dollar $X again. So it doesn't matter what follows after the dollar. Anything meaningful,
Okay.
we are good with it.
Okay, fine.
Okay.
When we are executing this step, it is showing the command also. Oh, is that way or?
Yeah, it is that way. Like first it will execute the entire block and then it will print the output of that particular block.
Okay.
That's how generally PowerShell works.
Okay.
Okay. Now let's say I'll again declare an array called names. I'll take the same array. I'll take something I'll copy this out. I'll paste this out here. Now also say location. I'll say another array. I'll say Hyderabad. I'll say Mumbai. I'll say Bangalore. Now I want to do something like my name is Kiran. I belong to Hyderabad. My name is Ali. I belong to Mumbai. My name is Sanjay. I belong to Bangalore. Now, can it be possible with for each loop? Can I iterate with for each loop over two different arrays at the same time? Possible, but not recommended because there is a lot of debugging that is going around in the backend. For this, I would use something called as a for loop. Now, what do I do in for loop, or what is the syntax of for loop is something like this. If I say it is a for loop, it's giving me the syntax out here. It's saying $I equal to 0, I is less than $array.count, I plus plus. This is the initial value. This is the condition. This is called the counter. Meaning, what do I need to do ideally is that I need to basically iterate over Kiran. I'll have to assign this particular location. I'll have to iterate over Ali. I'll have to assign this particular location. I'll have to iterate over Sanjay, assign this particular location, right? This is how I need to iterate over them. For this iteration, anytime when you declare an array, PowerShell is going to consider the first object as 0, second object as 1, third object as 2. So this is called indexing. And your indexing starts from 0, 1, and then 2. Out here also it's the same, 0, 1, and 2. So if I want to, let's say, index over it, so I'll say, okay, fine. It is not less than, it is less than or equal to LE, not LT. Less than meaning it won't consider the last object out here. I'll say this is not array, but dollar name dot count. Now what will happen here, or dollar names dot count out here? What's going to happen is simple. See, if I do this, what am I going to get? I'm going to get a name list, right? If I say names dot count, you'll say 3, right? So this is going to have all the 3, or it's going to give you just a number, right? Now what I'm going to do, I'll say, okay, fine, right host, my name is dollar names dollar I. Now what's going to happen with this statement is that initially the value of I is going to be 0, right? And it's going to come inside this loop. It's going to say my name is, and it says, okay, fine. In the names list, the I value now is 0. So this will get assigned a value called 0. In the names list, what is 0? It's Kiran. It's going to print out what? Kiran. Second time when it runs, it will say What is now the value of I? The value of I has increased. I plus
1.
plus is nothing but I is 1, right? So now I value is going to get increased, and now it's going to tell, right host, my name is okay, dollar names, what is the value of I? 1. And what is 1 here? It is Ali. Now can I implement the same thing out here also? I belong to, and I'll say dollar location dollar I, and this should be less than, right? So if I execute this out, if I execute the entire block out, now see this guys, it says my name is Kiran, I belong to Hyderabad. My name is Ali, I belong to Mumbai. My name is Sanjay, I belong to Bangalore. How did it iterate over it? First time again, it said, okay, this is 0, this is 1, this is 2. Now the first value of I is 0. You have declared I as 0, and I'm saying I is less than name not count, and I'm saying I plus plus. So right now the value of I is what? 0 for the first time when it's running. Here also it is 0. Saying, right host, my name is, what is the value of I? 0. And what is this 0? Name 0 is nothing but Kiran, and location 0 is nothing but Hyderabad. Now second time it went on, it did I plus plus. So the value of I now is 1. Last, last time a value called 1 here. Now it's doing, right host, my name is, names 1 is what? Ali. Location 1 is what? Mumbai. Guys, do you all understand this? Like, any issues with this?
I'm little bit confused about the it. So
Uh,
it are equal.
this one?
Yeah.
So these are called operators in PowerShell, meaning I am saying only, see, this is called a circuit breaker again. Now, this has to run how many times, Chandra? It has to run 3
3
times,
times.
right?
Yes.
Meaning, if I don't declare this, meaning I'm saying, you know what? These are the number of times I want you to run. How many times? Names dot count, right? Names dot count is how many? 1, 2, 3. So I want you to run 3 times. So this is the condition that you can go for. You can also give here as 3. So it is
Mhm.
less than 3. Only if I is less than 3, meaning for the first time it will run, it will say, okay, fine, I value is 0. Second time it's going to run, it's going to say I value is 1. Third time it's going to run, it's going to say I value is 2. This condition is satisfying, right? Now what if I say I is less than 1? Now if I run the same loop again, see what's going to happen. My name is Kiran, I belong to Hyderabad. This is the only thing that is getting. Why? Because first time it executed, I value was what? 0. It said Kiran and Hyderabad. It took those two things out here. Second time it is running, I value is 1. Is I less than 1? Not really, right? What are the numbers that are less than 1? It's only 0. Or what are the
Right.
positive numbers that are less than 1? It's only 0, right? So that's the reason it broke here. It says, you know what? This condition is not getting satisfied.
Okay. Got it.
Got it? Got it?
Yes. Yes.
This condition was not getting satisfied, and it said, you know what? I won't go into the loop at all. But what if I do something like 10 and I execute this out? Now see, my name is Kiran, I belong to something, my name is Sanjay. After this, it says my name is, it did not get any value. I belong to, did not get any value. Now, why is this happening? Because you do not have so many names out here. You do not have 9 names out here. Got it? So let's say if I say, okay, fine, there are what? How many? 1, 2, 3. So I'll say, okay, fine, I just want to declare 3. Will it run? It will run definitely. It says it's giving me 3 names. Now if I add a fourth name out here, something like XYZ, and location is ABC. Now if I execute this again, guys, can anyone tell me, will it print XYZ and ABC?
No.
No,
No.
because we mentioned only three.
Exactly. Only three, right? So if I do F8, it will only give me three names only. It won't give me the fourth name. So that is the reason, to make sure that this condition is dynamic, what we'll do is we'll say it is not three, but every time look for something called names dot count. And every time you increase a name, right, the count will also increase, right? So that's how your loops can be inclusive, or your loops can be dynamic. So names dot count is something like this. Now if you also see, you can also do a names 0, Kiran, because this is 0 out here. The index is 0. Name 1, Ali. Name 2, Sanjay. You can iterate over it. You can also see how it's like going. Now this is the syntaxing out there, guys. Guys, is everyone comfortable with this? Shall we move forward?
What if we
Yes.
give the equal in the place of less
Uh,
than?
so if I say it is equal to, now what's going to happen? Let's also do that. I'll say, what is the operator for equal to? It is EQ. Now look at the condition right now. If I execute this, it never went into the loop at all. It just printed me the condition. Why is it that way? Now here it is what? 0, 1, 2, 3. This is the indexing, right? And what is the count here? It is I equal to names.count, and names.count is how many? 4. There are 4 names here. So 4 counts. So until and unless your condition gives you I equal to 4, which is not there in this case at all. Because if I do names 4, can anyone tell me what is the value that I'll get?
XY.
XYZ.
Okay, so the value would be null. I won't get any value because the indexing, as I said, starts from where? 0, 1, 2, 3. Last value is what? 3 here. This is called indexing, guys. And PowerShell will always index from 0. But the count, how many total names are there? That is 4. I am doing what? I am doing an indexing. So I am calling the fourth index in the name, which doesn't exist at all. So that is the reason when I say it is dot count, I'm calling this number, which is 4. So right now my condition looks something like this. Let me clear this out again. My condition now looks like something like this. If I is equal to 4 only, because the count was what? 4, then only go into the loop. But here I value is iterating over this thing. Did you all get it? Akila, does it clear your doubt?
Yeah, thank you.
Guys, anything before we move forward? Okay, so that was string and array. Is there any other data type that we are going to use a lot? Something called as hash table. Now, I want to have key value pairs inside my loop, meaning I want to have something like name XYZ, location something like this, meaning if I want to declare a hash table, I would say at the rate open flower brackets and close flower brackets. Now I would say name is equal to developer team is equal to XYZ, owner is equal to xyz@gmail.com. Now if I execute it and if I look at what is there in the hash table, it's going to be key value pairs. So name, developer, owner, something, team is something. So this is going to give you something like a tabular format. And all these key value pairs are called what? A hash table. Guys, comfortable till here? Is this okay?
Yes.
And if I want to see what is the data type of something, I'll say $hash table dot get, sorry, dot get type. Says name is hash table, it's called system dot object. The same thing if you want to do with the names, right? I can do $names dot get type. It's called system dot array. And if I do this one, it'll do system dot string. It's only name, then it's system dot string and stuff like that. So those were the very basics of PowerShell, like what are data types and all that stuff. And how are we now going to use the same thing, use the same concept in creating our resource groups and etc. Right? So that's what we need to apply it to Azure, right? Now the concepts of Windows PowerShell is something that we are trying to apply it to Azure. So let me open up a new window. Let me say PowerShell. Now the first thing that I want to do is log into my account. So guys, what is the command that I can use for logging into Azure?
Is it
Login
account?
AG, login AG account.
Great. So I'll say login as the account and I'll execute this out. Now it's going to give me a console. I'll just say, okay, fine. This is the account that I'm using. And I'm logged in. It says this is the one, this is a free trial and all that stuff. Very good, great. Now, yesterday we have seen how to create a resource group, right? So I'll say create a resource group. Now the point is I want to just create one. So what is the command, guys? Can anyone help me out?
New,
Agent resource group.
new
New.
AG RG group,
So
like
it is
RG
just
resource
new
group,
hyphen AZ resource group.
hyphen name,
So I will say
resource group
test
name,
PS
Location.
script. And yes, exactly location.
location,
East
Issues.
US 2, something like this, and we'll execute this out. Now it said, okay, fine, test something, something. It went ahead and created a resource group, and this resource group to reflect on the portal, right? It will take some time. Like it'll take some time basically for that particular call to come here. But this resource group is actually created out there. So if you search for this particular resource group, search for this particular resource group out here, you will basically get a resource group out there. So right now it's not reflecting and stuff like that, but it's definitely created for sure. So if you refresh your screen a couple of times more, you would see that particular resource group getting listed out here. So here you have test PS script. This is the resource group that we created right now. Now I have a requirement not to create one, but to create, let's say, 5 resource groups. The first thing what I want to declare is the names of the resource groups. Guys, now how can I declare the names of the resource groups, guys, if there are 5, not one? So which concept
array,
from here?
by using
Exactly,
array list.
List.
right?
Names.
So I'll say $RG names, okay? And I'll say at the rate, open parenthesis and close parenthesis, test hyphen 01, test hyphen 02, test hyphen 03, test hyphen 04, and so on and so forth. Now, if I want to create resource groups, I'll say new -az resource group. I'll say name. What can I give my name now, guys? What will
RG
be my
names,
name? Right,
dollar
great.
RG
So
names.
this is dollar $RG names, and location is something like a static location is US2. I just put it this way. Now, guys, can anyone tell me, will the command get executed or will it throw me an error? Guys, Sanjay,
Yes,
Akhila, Ali, anyone?
It will execute.
No, it
Okay,
will throw error
right.
because we need to put for loop, right? To get
Correct,
the array
right?
each other.
So it says, you know what? I cannot convert system.object, meaning array, to system.string required by the parameter name. What exactly is this telling really? Meaning, when you look at this command called new hyphen az resource group, and when you look into the documentation of it, it's telling name is what? It's a string, meaning I will only accept strings. I will not accept anything apart from this particular data type. But you are giving me what? An array. So I'll bluntly throw an error. I'll just say, I'll just throw an error out here. Guys, got this? So I am definitely supposed to pass a string and not an array. And RG names is what? It's an array list. See, it's an array list. And the command here is expecting what? A string out here. Now, same concept that I want to apply here. I converted my array list into a string by using what? A for each loop, right? I was iterating over it. Same thing I'll do here. I'll just comment this out. We don't need this anymore. Hash, comment it. I'll say for each name in dollar $RG names. Now I'll say, to make sure that it is meaningful, I'll say write host attempting to create a resource group with the name. What can be the name, guys? What should I declare here? Guys, anyone?
R,
Dollar
RG name.
name. Names. Dollar
So
name.
if I
$RG names.
exactly no, it is not dollar $RG names, because right now dollar $RG names is what? An array, and we're trying to convert it into what? A string. So this value will always be dollar name,
Dollar names.
right? So it's only name, right? I didn't declare names, so it's just a name. So I'll say attempting to create a resource group with the name dollar name. So you can put a semicolon out here so that it makes a lot of sense. Now I'll say new hyphen az resource group. Name of the resource group. What can be the name here, guys? What should I pass the name here?
Dollar
Name,
name.
Dollar
dollar
name.
name.
Great, correct. And then location is East US2. And I can again write host after this command got executed. Successfully created the RG with the name. Now, if you want to also declare your variable inside the quotes, right? You can do a double dollar out here, something like this. Name. Okay. Now, if I execute this out, now it's saying, you know what? Attempting to create resource group with the name test01. Now it will create it, and now it's coming back and saying, you know what? Successfully created RG with the name test1. Now it's saying attempting to create test2. Created, coming down, test3. Guys, good with this?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So now this is how you make sure to basically use the basics what we have learned. So these are the very basics of it, like the concepts of array, like the concepts of string and etc. And we're trying to apply it to this particular values out here. Now I also want a resource group. I want to create a resource group with some tags, right? So here, if I go into, let's say, my portal, if I look into, let's say, test one and stuff like that, there are no tags out here, right? I can add tags. Now in real-time scenarios, each and every resource is going to have a tag associated with it for n number of reasons, for billing, for management, and for better understanding and all. They'll have tags here. And tags is what, guys? Key value pairs or name value pairs, right? So which concept that I can use here? Which concept that I can use here, guys? Anyone?
For loop.
No, I'm talking about the data types. So I can use a hash table, right?
Yeah.
Name is a developer, team is owner, and all that stuff. I'll take the same hash table out here. I'll declare my hash table somewhere here. I'll say this is my hash table. Execute this out. And now if I want to create a resource group, I will say new -az resource group. Name of the resource group is something like test05. Hard code this out. Location of the resource group is West US2 or West US. Tag. Now see, it's also telling me tag is what, a hash table, right? So I can pass in the value called hash table. Now if I create this, now did you see this, guys? It said this is created, and I will also go ahead and assign tags to it. Meaning if I look at test resource group test-05, let me refresh the screen. Let me do a hard refresh of my browser. It'll take some time to this particular resource group to get reflected.
Can we see the progress here?
This is done, like it's created, but the thing is, it takes some time for the portal to reflect this out. So this is the progress, like the output here is like the progress out here. So here it says, you know what, like
Can
this
we
is
execute
created
in
and all
that
that stuff.
terminal
Sorry,
side? Can we
sorry,
execute
sorry.
in this terminal side by putting the code on the terminal so that
I
it was
didn't get you.
very fast? Which means we should put the code in the entire terminal so it will execute fast, right? Yesterday we saw that.
Yeah, it will execute fast, but the thing is, it's not about the execution, it's about the reflection out here in the portal. Now see, it's got a resource group with test05, and now you have a tag also to assign to it. So even if you execute in the terminal, or even if you execute in the console, it's the same. But why do we do console is because when you're writing a lot of code, right, it really helps you to understand what you're writing, and if there is any error, right, let's say I missed something, there is an error out here, this console will again show me what the error is. It's telling, you know, a red mark, and it's telling, you know, this is the error. If you hover it, it'll say unexpected token. This is the advantage of having, let's say, a console. Okay, guys, are you all good with this?
Yes.
Okay, now what if I want 5 different resource groups in 5 different locations? Guys, what concept can you use here? What concept that we learn there that you can use out here?
Arrays we need to use.
So we need to use
For
what?
loop and array.
Exactly, for loop and array. This is the concept. The same concept you're going to apply here also. So instead of, let's say, your names, it'll be resource group names, and instead of, let's say, the locations like Hyderabad, it's going to be Azure locations. and you're going to iterate it like this. Guys, can you try this? The assignment is this. I want 5 different resource groups, RGs in 5 different locations. Are we good with this, guys?
Sure.
Okay. Now I want to go ahead and delete all the resource groups that I created. But there are a lot, right? See, there is this resource group and there are a lot of resource groups that I actually want, but I only want to delete test-01, test-02, test-03, 4, 5. So what do I do firstly? So if I were to delete, I do a selective delete of the RGs. I first want to get all my RGs. Okay. So what is the what is, let's say, the command to get the RGs, guys?
Get RG group.
Right? Get hyphen AZ resource group. And if I execute it, it's giving me what? It's giving me all the names of the resource groups out here. Like I have network watcher, I have Aquila first RG and all that stuff. But I only want to filter the name that starts something like test-01, test-02. Now, yesterday we discussed something called as a pipeline, right?
Right.
I'll take a pipeline and I'll say where resource group name is not equal to but like. I want all the resource groups like test hyphen whatever it is. This is called a wildcard. Here, whatever it is there, like 01, 02, 03, whatever it is there, it won't consider. It won't really see what is there. Meaning, if I will execute right now the entire parameter, now you see what we got. It says test-vm something. It says test-ps something. It says test-01, test-02, test-03, test-04, test-05. Like, got it,
So
guys?
yeah, so after the test hyphen, we given 2 stars. So suppose if test is hyphen 3 digits is there, then we need to mention 3 stars there, right?
No, not really. It's just like even 1 star is okay.
Okay.
If it is star, it is just telling that whatever is there after it, I don't care. Okay.
What alphabet are you using for a pipeline? It's L or
So
something?
no, it is called a pipeline symbol out here. So it looks something like this.
It will be on the numerical one.
Yeah, no, it is here. Like in my keyboard, it is here. So on numerical one, it is exclamation. So I'm not using
Okay,
an
exclamation.
exclamation. I'm using a pipeline. So something above the backslash. So it's a straight this one. So this symbol itself is called as pipeline out there.
It's not available in my keyboard.
No, it will generally be in everyone's keyboard, like just above the
Backspace down, you
backslash.
can see.
Okay.
You can see the enter the
Okay.
tab above.
So this is called, guys, again filtration. Okay, I can do this, or I can also do where name is, please go mute. I'm getting some echo here. Thank you. I can say test hyphen star. And I can, let's say, execute this out and I'll get the same output here. So test hyphen something. But again, this is a resource group that I want to retain. This is also a resource group that I want to retain. I only want to delete 01, 02, 03, 04. Can I do test -0 star? Because after 0, no matter whatever it is, like how many ever stars it is, I don't mind. I only want those resource groups. Now if you see here, it's test-01, test-02, test-03, test-04. Got it, guys? This is
Yeah.
called filtration. This concept is called filtration. Now I want to delete everything that which starts with 0 and 1, 2, 3, whatever it is. I don't care. So I want to delete all these things out. Now, in order for me to delete, what is really the command? So if I
Set.
want to, no, set is to modify. Set is to modify something existing. So see, get is to get something. Set is to modify that is existing. New is to create something new. Remove is to remove something. And what am I removing? Remove hyphen az resource group. This is something that I'm removing. And now it's asking me for the name. Guys, what name will I pass here?
Test-0 star.
Correct, but that is something that I'm already doing here, right? So what if I store it in a variable? I will say this is a remove list.
Yeah.
And what if I
So
execute this out right now? And once after this is got executed, again guys, can you please go on mute? I'm getting some echo. Thank you. Once after this got executed, what is there in my remove list now? I have all these values, right? Test-01, test-02 and all these things, right? So guys, are we good here? So
yes.
if I pass a remove list out here, and I'll have to also do something called as force, so that I don't get a prompt every time asking me to delete it. Will this command work, guys?
I think we need to use the pipeline symbol. No, not required. It
Guys,
should.
anyone? It should. Okay, guys, anyone else? Like, will this command work? Guys, anyone? Anyone?
Yes, because we gave all the string, right?
So is this really a string?
Name.
This is not a string. This is what? An array list, or this is rather an object. But a remove hyphen resource group hyphen name expects something called a string. A remove hyphen resource group name out here expects something called as a string. But is this a string? Let's see. $remove dot get type. It's what? An array list, right? So what if I want to convert the array list into a string? What would be the value, guys? I mean, what
For
should be, let's say, the logic, right?
for each.
Exactly. So you'll have to understand. So this is the reason I started today's class with something called as data types, because very, very, very important to understand this. So I'll say for each name in remove list, remove hyphen
Name.
right? Got it. Great. So this is something will be dollar name.
Yeah.
So I have converted into, let's say, an array list out here. So if I execute this, guys, will I be able to delete the resource groups?
Yes.
Guys, anyone? Okay.
Yes.
So let me try executing this out. It's now saying, you know what? The provided resource group does not exist. It's throwing me an error, but I know that the resource group does exist. Very importantly, you'll have to see what is there in name. So I'll say write host. This is the name. And what? A dollar name. So let's see this. Let's firstly see what is getting stored inside the name. See, what is this? Microsoft.azure.commands.resource manager something something SDK model PS resource groups. Why is this coming, guys? Because remove list just doesn't have a name. It has objects inside it. It has objects inside it. But what is the command expecting? It's expecting the resource group name, right? This is what it's expecting right now. Remove something name. It just wants a resource group name. So if you see an example of how this is used, so get hyphen AZ resource group, sorry, get remove hyphen AZ resource group name is something like this. But am I passing the name to this command? No, right? I am passing the entire block. Each and every time I am passing the whole list. I'm passing the resource group name, I'm location, everything. Then what if I only want to get the name? What if I only want to get the name in my remove list? I do an open parenthesis, close parenthesis, dot resource group name, because this is what it is right now out here. So if I execute this command, and if I look into what is there in my remove list, this is all what I wanted, right? Now, what if I wanted not the name but the location? Location. And if you look into the remove list right now, East US to East US to, and last is West US. Guys, does this make sense? Guys, any questions this in this one? Is this confusing? Any questions here? Guys, did you all understand this?
Yes. Needs to be
Okay.
practiced.
So I'll just give a resource group name out here. Now I'll say, okay, fine. Now I'll go ahead and say, remove this out. Now it says executing, and this is going to take some time. It's to remove it out. They'll say, okay, fine, the name is test01, test02, test03, test04. And it's going to delete each and everything out here. Guys, practice these examples again. You all have your free trial accounts. Go ahead and make the best use of it. Now this is going to take some time out here. This is like the nature of the PowerShell in that way. It's going to take some time, especially when you're executing it from your local machine. So it's okay, let it execute, and it will go ahead and delete your resource groups in a couple of minutes. Like, not likely you shouldn't see test one out here. Like, it's there, but it will kind of delete it out. So it'll take like a minute or two for each and every resource groups to get deleted. But what you do today is practice the data types firstly. Like, go through each and every data type. We have three, right? Right now we have discussed three. We have discussed what a string, an array, a hash table. Go over it, see how you can convert your array into, let's say, something like a string, and see how you can make use of what something called as for loop, and then see how you can make use of an hash table, and then practice this, guys. Believe me, these are like the very basics of it, but this is going to be the building blocks. And tomorrow when we meet, we're going to practice more on PowerShell. And also the assignment you guys have is what? 5 different resource groups in what? 5 different locations using what? For loop. Is that okay, guys?
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, please do practice this out. And while we meet tomorrow, we'll discuss more on PowerShell, and we'll discuss more on creating of the resources using PowerShell. Now we'll discuss about parameterization, we'll discuss about storage accounts and all these things out. So today's class, please make sure to practice it so that you can follow tomorrow's. So please practice it, and if there are any doubts, please write it down, and I will help you out with that. Okay, so have a great day ahead, guys, and we will meet tomorrow.
Okay. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.